The state of Ohio was home to several Native American tribes, including the Miami, Shawnee, Erie, Mingo, Delaware, and Wyandot. These tribal communities are the original stewards of the land, helping care for and connect with the land since time immemorial. These people had a network of trails throughout the state that were used for trade, hunting, and warfare. Over many years they used and maintained these trails, leaving a legacy of care and stewardship of the Ohio lands. These trails served as a means of interaction between Native American groups in various cultural regions. There was a long-distance trade network in place throughout North America for thousands of years. Marine shell and native copper were traded between the Great Lakes region and the Gulf Coast as early as 6000 BC. In the Ohio Valley, copper ornaments and marine shell beads have been found at Adena mounds dating from 400 to 200 BC. Many of the routes used by these early groups were still in use when the first European settlers arrived. Frequently these same routes became major highways. Some are still in use today. One of the most well-known and significant trails in Ohio is the Scioto Trail. This trail, following the Scioto River, cut a north-south path that connected the Ohio River to the Great Lake, Lake Erie. It was part of a large trade network between the central Mississippi, Ohio, and Illinois river valleys, and the Great Lakes region. The trails were only used by Native Americans, until they encountered Europeans and settler groups. Upon their arrival, early European settlers and traders needed to follow Native American paths and trails. They used them for many years afterward. Over time, many Native American routes evolved to become bridle paths, wagon roads, paved roads, and even highways, some of which survive today, at least in part along their original courses. Many of Ohio's roads and highways follow the paths of these ancient trails. In Ohio, the Scioto Trail became Route 23. Route 23 begins at Portsmouth and passes through the towns of Chillicothe and Circleville before reaching Columbus. It mostly follows High Street in Columbus. Route 23 then goes northbound going through Worthington. From there it heads north to Lake Erie. Highways such as Ohio's Route 23 live and breathe today, with traffic supporting the same purposes the Native Americans used the Scioto Trail for. When you travel on a major road or thoroughfare, you are most likely following the same route Native Americans used hundreds of years ago. They preserved the environment around these trails for many years. You may want to visit an Ohio state park such as Scioto Trail State Park, located just south of Chillicothe. There you may walk a trail, step back to a time before the trails became roads, and experience what it may have been like to travel the Scioto Trail like Native Americans did so many years ago.